We're learning more about the shooting of the Mariano's employee. Court records show the suspect threatened to kill the victim the day of the shooting.
Armani Henry is now facing first-degree murder charges. Police say the 21-year-old shot and killed Jailene Flores at the Mariano's in Evergreen Park yesterday. She was just 21 as well. The two had been in a relationship. Court records show Henry also confronted her the day before he allegedly shot her. After that, she got a restraining order, but she was found shot multiple times in the storage room.
Show your face! Show your face, please! With sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, time after time we hear these stories of women losing their lives over stalker ex-boyfriends who just couldn't let them go. Sometimes a woman is given signs that the boyfriend may not be too right in the head, but love tend to make them overlook everything in the heat of the moment. Then you have some that don't get the signs until it's too late. But I encourage all women that if a man shows signs of anything domestic or that his mental health isn't all the way there, waste no time and distance yourself far, far away. It may seem hard in the beginning whether it's love or lust involved, but sometimes reacting quick in situations like that can save you from future hurt and or your life. In a bizarre situation involving a young woman from Chicago who no longer wanted anything to do with a partner, sadly her life was cut short at his expense. Sources say the 21-year-old Jailene Flores filed for an order of protection against this man that she was dating who was only 21 years old as well, that goes by the name Armani Henry. Now, strange enough, two parties may have dropped the ball here because the order of protection was never served according to police, stating that the family told them that Armani didn't live at the address that they responded to. Some feel that the family lied and may have been harboring Armani so he don't receive the order of protection, which led to this bizarre incident. On another note, if the family knew that he was being given the order of protection, why didn't nobody think enough to step in and actually try to do something? It's been told that the family stated themselves that Armani had mental health issues. So knowing that he has mental health issues, knowing that an order of protection was issued to him from another female, why didn't they make it their business to get involved with the matter more? I get it, he was 21, but mental health issues don't have an age. Neither does it have a date, therefore anything could transpire at any given time. So it's a lot of questionable things involving this case. This isn't a recent case, but as y'all know, I like covering stories where viewers can learn something from and hopefully shed awareness on these events so someone in the future can learn from it and not become another victim. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the platform if you aren't already and hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm and spread awareness to the situation between Jailene Flores and Armani Henry. Now let's get into it. Family and friends describe Jailene as very smart, caring, always kept a job, and always made time for family no matter what. Family was big to Jailene. As a young 21-year-old, Jailene always held down a job, starting work early straight after high school. She worked at an Amazon fresh warehouse, nursing home, and her latest job, which was working in the grocery store at Mariano's, located in the Evergreen Park on the west side of Chicago. It was in school where Jailene would meet a boy by the name of Armani Henry. Although they met in high school, they would carry things outside of school when they would both work at a nursing home. This is where the two began dating each other. Sources say that they don't recall both of them ever being in a relationship, but they did date and was in somewhat of what people would call a situationship, where it's not technically a boyfriend and girlfriend type of thing, but we're still involved with each other. It's said that Jailene may have liked Armani, but the feelings weren't deep enough on that level to where they would be in a relationship. But on the other hand, Armani was a total opposite. He would share very deep feelings for Jailene, so much that over time he would become very obsessive as described by her peers. By April of 2023, Armani's behavior would start to get worse to the point where Jailene realized how obsessive Armani would become, which prompted her to cut ties with him immediately. She would try to cut off all communication by not responding to any of his text messages or phone calls and not see him at all. But knowing how big family is to Jailene, every time she tried cutting all ties, Armani would threaten her and her family. At that point, Jailene was faced with no other choice but to go file for an order of protection against 21-year-old Armani. The order was granted, but Armani was never served the document, resulting in it being expired. The Cook County Sheriff's Office stated that the order of protection was issued on April 19, 2023, upon Jailene's request, and deputies will make attempts to serve Armani the next day on the 20th. A deputy states that a resident of the address provided for Armani told deputies that Armani didn't live there and they didn't know who he was. That's when deputies would try to contact Jailene but got no answer, then left a message trying to clarify the address provided by Jailene, but she never responded back to the sheriff's office about it. On May 10, 2023, Jailene was present in court to extend the order of protection, in which it was to May 31st, and deputies would attempt to serve Armani again on May 13, 2023, but was told yet again by a resident that Armani didn't live there. And once again, deputies notified the courts that they attempted, but neither Armani or Jailene can be contacted. The extension that was granted to the 31st expired on the 31st, and being that Jailene didn't make it to the court date on the 31st to further extend it, if it needed be, the order of protection was not extended and expired. Now, if you ask me, someone is lying. Because after the attempts of giving the order of protection to Armani, although he wasn't served, he had stopped harassing Jailene and everything had cooled down as Jailene wouldn't hear from Armani anymore, thinking that maybe the attempts at least worked. But things would get a bit strange 3 months later in July. On Monday, July 10th, according to reports, Jailene's brother will find an Apple AirTag within her vehicle. AirTags are traced back to its original owner due to the phone number that is registered to, and that's exactly how they found out the AirTag belonging to Armani. When Jailene's brother scanned the tag, they observed the last 4 digits of the AirTag's number was the same as Armani's phone number. This is how they figured out that the AirTag was planted by Armani. Now, AirTags were developed by Apple as a device helping its users to keep track of everyday items that they'll commonly lose, such as your wallet, phone, or your keys. However, criminals have used it in a more sinister way to track their victims by leaving it in someone's car or placing it in someone's everyday baggage to figure out their whereabouts. Now, when it comes to the AirTag being placed in Jailene's vehicle, I wonder how long it was there before it was actually recovered. And you'll see why I asked that question a little later and why it is very valid in this situation. Now, my assumption is that when she filed the order of protection against him, maybe that's when he put the AirTag into a car to keep track of her, and that's why he wasn't bothering her, considering that he knew her every move due to the AirTag. Or maybe the AirTag been in the car prior without Jailene knowing, and the brother just so happened to find it after the order of protection. Because the next question would be, how was Armani able to get into Jailene's car without her knowing? Did he have a spare key or break into it silently some way? Or did he always have it in there, stored securely in there without her knowledge? And who knows, her brother just found it. But now here's the real question. How long was it in her car before it was recovered? Because that Wednesday, July 12, 2023, Armani would do the unthinkable as he made it his business to follow Jailene to her job at Mariano's to approach her about removing the AirTag from her vehicle. It's almost like he was trying to force her to keep the AirTag in her car against her will, despite knowing he wasn't supposed to. As for going to her job, this is a tactic done by most abusers because it's their way of getting the victim secluded with no one around, including family or friends. And in most cases, they can almost guarantee that that's where their victim would be, being that it's their place of employment. Once again, knowing how much Jailene loved her family, Armani would threaten to hurt her father and brother if Jailene stopped talking to him. Now, I personally think that when Armani had calmed down for that little time, it was because he was tracking her through that AirTag, so he was comfortable in knowing what she was doing at all times despite not having any contact. But as soon as the AirTag was removed, it would be absolutely no more communication, and that's why he lost it. Now, Jailene will return home after work and inform her family of what happened at her job. That following day, Thursday, July 13, 2023, Jailene will file a new order of protection against Armani. That same day, she will report to work as any other work day, not expecting what's to come. During the small time period of her getting to work in the morning, Jailene received over 124 text messages from Armani where he's threatening Jailene for removing the AirTag from her car. That same morning, around 9 a.m., Armani would arrive at Mariano's grocery store where Jailene worked and confronted her. Surveillance would catch Armani going into the grocery store, and store cameras show that Jailene took Armani to a back room for employees only. That's when the store manager recalls hearing multiple gunshots and spotted Armani running away from where they was. The manager would try to chase Armani, who would jump into his red car identified as a red Ford Focus. Armani got away, but due to license plate readers, the red Ford Focus was tracked to an area on the north side 25 miles away a little after 10 a.m. Armani was found and arrested and taken into custody, and police found the 9mm firearm in his possession, the same one they believe was a weapon that was used against Jailene Flores. When officers arrived on the scene, they would pronounce Jailene deceased as she was struck in her head and body by multiple shots. Reports say that Armani is being charged with first-degree M and held without bail. Now, like I stated earlier in the video, I don't know who dropped the ball, whether it was the police or the family, but I'm more so leaning towards the family. In a news conference after everything happened, the family would state that Armani suffered from mental health issues, but it seemed like they aided his behavior and allowed him to do what he did. I personally believe that he lived at that address, but the family acted like he didn't, thinking that they was helping him to stay out of trouble with the police, which is why he couldn't be served the order of protection. But if deputies are coming to the house, even if he wasn't there, no one thought to try and get in contact with him at least to see what's going on, especially if you know that this man suffers from mental health issues, because clearly he was harassing this girl and then caught her at her most vulnerable time as he knew she would be at work. And even in the workplace, right? I don't get it. How was he able to slip by everyone and approach her to the point to where they went to the employees only section in the back and nobody intervened, right? So I don't know. But it's definitely an unfortunate situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I advise that before you start messing with anyone, you fill them out completely, because you never know who's suffering from what. You never know what they're dealing with internally or what they're hiding from you. I'm sure Jailene didn't expect this when she first started dating Armani, and due to his fatal attraction to someone who, from my understanding, he wasn't even in a real relationship with. Right now she's gone. And it's crazy because these kids, they're pretty much kids. They was young. They was 21 years old. You know, so he displayed this type of behavior at a young age, at 21. So, you know, it's crazy, man. But y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think that the police dropped the ball? Do you think the family dropped the ball? Or maybe nobody dropped the ball and it just happened because, you know, he was suffering from what he was suffering from internally? All right, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. If y'all have any stories that y'all would like for us to check out, either DM us on Instagram or send us an email. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.